If you're interested in buying a home, new construction may be something that you're considering. Today, I'm sharing some important tips on buying a newly built, new construction home and what you need to know about the financing. First, it's important to understand there are really two types of new construction. The first one is a custom home, and that's where the buyer obtains a construction loan to pay for the cost along the way. Then the loan converts into a permanent loan after the construction is complete. Number two is a mass-produced builder type of scenario. And this is most common. This is where builders are actually covering the cost during the course of construction, and then the buyer obtains the home loan once the home is complete and ready to move into. Here's what you should know. First, use a real estate agent. Now, this is kind of foreign because you're driving around, you see a new home community, you just want to pop in and see the houses. But here's the deal. If you pop in without your real estate agent and then you later want to have your real estate agent involved in the process of purchasing that home, the builder very likely will not allow it. So if you know that you want to purchase a new home, be sure to talk with your real estate agent and they will coordinate a showing time to show you and take you around to some of these models and the new builds and get you signed in properly so then they can protect your interest. And what am I talking about here? Like, how hard can it be? Well, here's the deal. When you purchase a brand new home, that purchase contract is coming from the builder, which means that it's going to favor the builder and not you as a buyer. So many times having an experienced real estate agent, they read purchase contracts all the time. They can review that contract and give you guidance and at least let you know what you're entering into. Secondly, sometimes they can help kind of negotiate some of the terms of those contracts. Now, in this market, negotiating a builder contract probably isn't very viable simply because there's such demand, but it's still good just to really understand what that contract says so you know with wide open eyes what you're getting into. Another thing to consider is real estate agents, because this is what they do each and every day, they're going to have recommendations on how your lot faces, where your lot is in the whole subdivision, etc. Not only for your time there based on your family needs, but for resale in the future. So I highly recommend if you are going to purchase a new construction home, be sure you contact your real estate agent and communicate with them so they can get you signed in and protect your interest along the way. Number two, what you need to know about the financing if you will be obtaining a home loan with this purchase. Now, here's the deal. Most builders across the country have a preferred lender. And so this is a lender that they have worked out some type of agreement with. They probably trust. Sometimes they actually have ownership interest in the lending company. It doesn't matter. But they typically will give you some type of incentive to work with their preferred lender. And if there is no incentive and you choose not to work with a preferred lender, sometimes your contractual obligations are different. For example, maybe there's no incentive to use their preferred lender and you decide to use your own lender that's not the builder's preferred lender. In those cases, we see contracts where the buyer actually has to deposit more money during the course of construction when using their own lender. So it's really important to understand, what does the purchase contract say? Does the builder have a preferred lender? And is there an incentive to use that lender? Now, we do have buyers that use us when we're not a preferred lender for a builder because they trust us, because they want to be sure that we get them to the finish line, and sometimes because the incentive isn't really that enticing. So it all just really depends on your scenario, what's going on with your home loan. You want to be sure that you have a great lending partner that, again, is going to get you to the finish line. The third thing you want to know if you're purchasing new construction is that it's a long process. So up front, the lender will want to pull your credit. Now, that credit report's only good for 120 days on most home loan programs, which means that your credit is going to need to be pulled again once you're closer to the actual closing date. Now, the timeline on when the lender will pull your credit the second time will vary. And sometimes lenders will even pull your credit a third time, again, just depending on the cycle and what your contractual obligation is with that purchase contract. What's really important to know is if you're going to purchase a newly constructed home, and it is a long build time, which today we're seeing all kinds of delays with the close of escrow on new construction. Do not change jobs. Do not buy a new car. Do not increase your credit debts without talking with a lender, because what you don't want to do is assume that you are still going to qualify for the home loan and wait all this time, and then when the lender repulls your credit, you don't qualify. So again, clear communication with your lender is super important because the build time is so long in many new construction scenarios these days. Another thing to keep in mind is when it comes to the appraisal part of purchasing new construction, there's two things you need to know. The appraiser will generally go out right after drywall has been performed, and they're going to do the initial appraisal based on the home at that stage. But they're going to have a condition in that appraisal that the appraiser has to go back out and sign off that the house is completely finished and ready for you to move in. The reason I bring this up is that the appraisal cost, because there's two different times that the appraiser is going out to the property, generally will be a little bit higher on new construction when compared to purchasing a resale home. So now you know what it looks like to buy new construction. Please take a moment to subscribe to this channel. I really do have a passion for home loan education, and I want you to be in the know. So please subscribe and share. And if you have any questions, comment below. Until next time.